and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is something I haven't really done before. I'm going to be unboxing my recent Sephora order. Now I did get 2 Fenty Beauty items and 1 Laneige item, so I will go through those with you guys. I do already have my foundation and my brows on, and I'm going to go in and just show off the products and do a bit of a first impression as well. So yeah, this will be pretty interesting. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe by clicking down here and turn on the bell so that every time I upload you get notified and you can watch it straight away. And go and follow me on my Instagram. It is Renee Weaver MUA. I post a lot of my creative looks there, so if you don't want to miss out on those, head over there. So let's get stuck into it. So Sephora order here. I'm going to open it up. So I kind of like now that they're kind of doing this cardboard, so obviously it means we can recycle it, which is really good. And it's got the cute little black and white inside it. So first item in the order is the Laneige Water Sleeping Mask Lavender for all skin types. So I wanted to try another Laneige product because I've got the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, which is amazing. It's my favourite lip balm. Put it on before I go to bed every night. I use it during the day, and it's super hydrating. It feels so good and silky on the lips. So I really wanted to give something else in their range a try, and I saw that they only just launched on Sephora the sleeping mask. So the sleeping mask was $40. I actually think that's pretty good for, you get 70 mils of product in there, so I think that's a pretty decent size. So we'll just open it up, and inside you get a little spatula. And then that's the mask there. I've got pretty big hands and I'm holding it like that, so it's pretty massive. Let's give it a bit of a smell. So it's got a little seal on it, which I like. Okay. That smells so good. It just smells like pure lavender. So it's like a nice cream mask. So you leave it on, put it on, leave it on overnight, and then rinse off in the morning. Now I did try it last night, and I did quite like it. I didn't notice really a significant difference in my skin. If anything, I feel like when I woke up this morning my skin is quite dull, but I have been really tired the last few days. I've had the big days going to the Mia Connor class. If you want to find out more about how that went, that's also on my Instagram. But yeah, so I've been pretty tired, so my skin was quite dull this morning. But it was quite hydrating, the mask, which was really good, and it made my skin feel really nice. So I'd sort of say it kind of just makes your skin feel good. I wouldn't necessarily say it makes a difference to the appearance of your skin, but if you want something that just is going to soften the skin up a bit, this one's really good. So I'll put that away. Now the next 2 things I got are really exciting. So the first one is the Fenty Beauty SUNSTALKR Instant Warmth Bronzer, and I got the shade Shady Biz, which is the second shade in the range. I was going to get the shade Up, but I was a bit worried it would be a bit too dark. And I was going to get the Into Sun as well, but it was out of stock, which is the lightest shade, because I need a bronzer for when I'm my natural skin colour, when I'm really pale, because my Hoola bronzer is a bit too dark for when I'm my regular skin colour. But now I'm also finding, I think like I've changed what tan I use the last like 6 months, and the Hoola bronzer, like when I first have my tan on, it's not quite dark enough. Like it's almost too sort of cool. I need something a bit warmer. So I thought that this one might be a little bit warmer. Mia kind of used this on one of the models for the class, and it looked really nice. So I think I'm going to really like this. And then the next thing I got was the new Fenty Killawatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo in the Afternoon Snack and Mo Honey shades, and I saw these on Mia's story and they looked so beautiful, so of course I had to buy them. So what I will do is I will put on my bronzer first. So I don't usually wear powder over my foundation, so I want to see how this applies without powder underneath. If it applies really well, that'll be really good. Otherwise, what I'll do if something doesn't apply well over the top of the foundation, I will just put like a little bit of powder in that area so that it has something to blend onto. So that is the packaging. How gorgeous is it? Beautiful mirrored effect. It's the Shady Biz. So I'm going to open this up. Now, I do find Fenty's packaging quite difficult to open like with your fingers. You kind of need to use your nails to do it. So I really like that it's got a mirror inside it. That's a bonus. And it's got a little protector sleeve. Now, looking at this shade, this does look a lot warmer than my Hoola bronzer. So this looks like it's going to be perfect for me when I have a tan. So I'm pretty happy about that. So what I might do is I might just go in and put that on, and I might even do it like sort of down my nose and on my eyelids, because sometimes I prefer using just a bronzer for contouring. I don't really like using contour shades. I don't find they look like natural. And I also like to use my bronzers on my eyelids to give a bit of warmth, like if I don't really want to wear eyeshadow as such. So I will try that out as well. Okay, so I'm going to use my Nude by Nature powder brush. And I'll use the mirror of the bronzer to apply. Okay, so let's see how this goes. I'm quite sweaty at the moment, actually. Let me just go over these little areas. So now that that is done, I'm going to go in with the bronzer. Now I'm just going to do a tiny bit. So I've just dipped in. Looks pretty warm. And I'm just going to lightly. But it actually has a lot of pigment to it straight up. Like I barely dipped into it. And it seems to be blending fine over the top of the wet, like the foundation with that isn't set. Which is pretty good. And yeah, this is like a perfect shade for when I'm tanned. Love this. I think I'm gonna have to get the Inda Sun when it comes back in stock, because this is a very nice bronzer. It's got a lot of pigment to it. It's going on really easily too. Like, just so effortlessly. And I'm not really having to blend it too much. Like, just going on really flawlessly. I really love that. I'm like a bronze queen. I do love to have a fair bit of bronzer on myself. I'm going to bring it up sort of where I usually bring it up to, around here. And I'll bring it a little bit onto the forehead just at the sides, because I like to give my face the appearance. I like to give my face like a longer appearance. I feel like my face is quite rounded. And it doesn't seem to be going patchy up here, which bronzers generally do go patchy on me up here. So it's pretty good. That's looking pretty nice. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it down here. Like to give that little contoured effect. So I would definitely say get this if you struggle finding bronzers, and because this, like the Fenty range has like 12 shades of bronzers, like I think that is awesome. So I would definitely get this. And I actually feel like, you know, it's a pretty decent amount of, like it looks like a decent amount of product that's in there, so pretty good. So now I'm going to try doing a little bit of the nose contouring and like in the eyes with the bronzer. When I'm doing my nose contour, I like to use my Real Techniques setting brush. So I use this under my eyes as well, but it's also really good for doing a really natural nose contour. I hate like using thinner brushes than this because it just looks so unnatural when you do it. Even if it's a blending brush, it looks so unnatural. But if I use this brush, it looks really natural. So what I usually do is I usually kind of like dip it in on one side, but then I flip it over to the other side so I'm getting like that edge to the contour. And I'm just going to start running it down the side. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it looks so good. It's just so natural. And this bronzer is just blending effortlessly. Like, I think this is definitely my new favorite bronzer. Comes with my Like, I love my Hoola bronzer, but sometimes, like just when I'm like a bit tanned, it doesn't, I don't know if I really fully love the tone of it, but I really love the tone of this. It is so nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to go into my eye sockets. Because I know sometimes with my Hoola bronzer I feel like the colour's a little bit funny when I've got it on my eyes. So it's applying really effortlessly still in the eye area. So you could definitely use this as like maybe like a base shadow or like a transition shade, or even just like I do, like just to give a bit of colour on days where you don't really wear much makeup. Like, it's looking really nice. I'm probably just going to build it up a little bit more. It looks so natural. Like, I just feel like this colour really just suits my tan. And I'm going to try the highlighter on my eyes as well. Okay, so you can see it's there on my eyes. It just looks very nice and natural. This is like sort of like my, if you watched my my like everyday go-to makeup video that I uploaded recently, it, like, I do this all the time on my eyes. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. So I'm just going to put some blush on and then I'll be back in just a moment. So I've put my blusher on, so I think that's enough colour for me. It's probably not really showing up on camera, but in person it's a lot of blush. So now I'm going to open up the highlighter duo. Okay, so it comes in the same packaging that their other highlighters do. So yeah, once again I got the Afternoon Snack and Mo Honey duo, and that's what the front of it looks like. It's kind of got like an iridescence to it. So I'll open this up, and again, protector sleeve in there. Look at those colours. They're very golden tones, and I'm a fan of a really golden highlight. Can't wait to see how these look. I think I will definitely only be able to use these when I have tan on. Definitely not for any like fair to light skin tones. Definitely more for light medium or even a dark skin tone could definitely pull these colours off. So the Mo Honey looks a little bit more sort of on the golden side, and then the Afternoon Snack is golden, but it kind of reminds me of like Becca Opal highlighter, but like a bit darker. So it'll be interesting to see how they look. I think for today I'm not actually like the dark, like my tan has faded out quite a fair bit, so I think I'm gonna go the lighter shade today, and I might even put the darker one like on my eyelids. So for the highlighter, I do like to use my Real Technique setting brush again, but I've got a second one. I use one for my bronzing and contouring and that, and then I use this one for my highlighter. So I'm going to dip into the Mo Honey colour. Just do one couple of swipes. Let's see how this applies. Ooh, yes! Ooh, that's nice. I'm going to put another layer on. That is a strong highlight off the bat. Like, honestly, I wouldn't expect any less from Fenty Beauty. That is amazing. That is such a beautiful colour. So nice and golden. Looking at them in person, I was worried they were going to be a bit dark, but they're quite nice. So I'm going to put a little bit just on the tip of my nose and down the bridge of my nose, upper lip, bit on the chin. That's nice. Yes, yeah. Now I'm going to put a little bit on my brow bone, so I'm just going to use the very tip of the brush. Yes, looking so good. My god, can this... I'm sorry, the neighbour's dog is barking. I'm surprised my dog's not barking at the moment. Okay, so it's looking really nice with like the bronzy tones on my eyes as well. So I think what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to put that in my inner corners, and then I'm going to put this darker shade on my eyelid. They're definitely very golden. Like, you can even see in person in the flex, it's a very gold tone, like strong gold. So beautiful. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my finger to do the other colour. So I'm going to do Afternoon Snack, which is the slightly darker shade. And to me, it looks a bit less glittery. Like, Mo Honey looks a little bit more glittery. I don't know if you can see that. And then Afternoon Snack looks more shimmery rather than glittery. But it's not looking really glittery or anything on my face. So I'm going to just use my pinky. But how beautiful is that colour? I'm just going to pop some on my eyelid. Ooh, yes. It's definitely darker than Mo Honey. I would definitely probably more use this when I'm a bit, like when my tan is more fresh. Like even on my eyelid you can tell it's slightly darker. I might even top it with Mo Honey, just to give it a little bit more lightness, because I do usually like it to be a little bit lighter, but like it still looks really nice. So I'm just going to put a bit of that Mo Honey on there too, and that's just like lightening it up a little bit. But yeah, if you're a fan of a really bronzy goldy highlighter, like these shades are definitely for you. Okay, I'm just going to put on some mascara and a bit of a lip colour, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I just added a bit of a nude lip colour. I did the Stila Caramello liquid lipstick with the Australis Girl Boss High Shine Lip Gloss in Lovebird. This is my favourite like a brownie nude shade. Really liking it at the moment. It's the first ever brown nude I've ever liked on myself, so if you're usually not a fan of brown nudes, you'll definitely love this one. I think overall I'm really happy with this order. I think we'll see how the mask goes. I've only tried it the once, so I'll see what happens with that. Try it a couple more times, see if I really like it or not. So the mask I'm a bit unsure about at the moment, but the bronzer and the highlighter duo are amazing. So if you're on the lookout for something a little bit warmer than Hoola bronzer, definitely get Shady Biz. So nice. It's such a beautiful, warm, like, contour shade. I really love it. Like, it's not showing up that good in the camera, but in person it's so warm. Like, I look like a bronze goddess. I love it. And the highlighter duo, I think I probably won't be able to use Afternoon Snack unless I have like unless my tan is fresh, but I can definitely use Mo Honey when my tan has like faded out. Might even be able to use it as my natural colour, who knows. But yeah, no, both really beautiful bronzy gold shades. Don't forget to subscribe, click down here, and tell me what you guys want to see in my next video. I'll see you guys soon.